Good afternoon to you. This is January 22nd, 2021. This is Kathy Vivian Fabian, KV Fabian, speaking to you from the Rose Studio. I'm just about to archive another series of books, three. This one is from Sketchbook 9, and I have three portfolios over here to do. So before I archive them, put them in the archive where they're hard to get, I like to film them so that I have a quick inventory. Right now I have on the radio Spotify for background music, and I'm working slowly to get my video I've called Real Quick Art Inventory that I filmed on the 17th of this month ready. It takes a while. So let's get to work. This is improvised. I don't really know what I'm going to say, except I'm going to be talking about this particular sketch pad. I have done it was a big sketch pad, about 200-page sketch pad, and it was done I think around the 1990s. So right now I have the daunting task of starting to figure out how to do an inventory, and that without very much money. And I thought the first thing to do is to get the thing documented, and if I make a film of it, then at least I have some sort of record, although certainly I guess not archival quality. Now, one thing I see is that I have all my jewelry on my other hand. Hold on a second while I change my jewelry onto the hand that I'm going to be filming. That's good to know next time. That's the hand that switches the pages. This time I dressed up the hand because, wow, it's just a hand. So let's see how it looks, if I can maybe improve it a little, the way my film looks. You know, it's like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Let me show you hand. See? It's a little bit of a jewelry. And I did a little bit of buttercream before. It's not in sterling condition, but maybe more filmable than the other films. So this sketch pad was created. It took a long time to do all the pages from start to finish. And apparently this particular sketch pad, I was going to the Salon Brioche. It says 1993. I use a sketch pad for many things. I would carry around my carpet bag, a flowered carpet bag, and I would put in a sketch pad where I would write and sometimes do my grocery list, collect images of the magazines I was going through, and do sketches of the people I would encounter while I was waiting in line for these free shows that I went to, were really inexpensive shows at the time, and still the money was scarce. As I recall, at this particular time, I'm not sure if I was yet going to Place des Arts. I started off by going to the little shows that were either free or under about $5. You could get $15 for Players Theatre at McGill, which was going on, and I liked to go out if I could, once or twice a week. I first started things with Players Theatre, which was way before, and then halfway through going to inexpensive theatre, the city decided to come up with an idea to open the Maison de Culture, and they opened all these brand new spanking mini libraries, and they were asking for donations of tapes, music tapes, and movie tapes and books, and they got a huge response. And so this resulted in a series of little clusters of Maison de Culture, cultural houses, that had on them a library and a room where you could listen to videos or music, as well as a little performance place where they did performances like children's theatre, which I often went to, or you know, different councils, like an auditorium kind of thing. If there was town councils, they had poetry reading, they had sometimes dance. They closed up a lot of these, but you could have it. I'd say that you could have a Maison de Culture went all over Montreal, even including Pointe-aux-Trembles, which was quite a distance, I found out. I had quite adventures to get there. The Maison de Culture that was in the mostly around the metro system, which is what I was mostly going to. They were not too far from the metro. You could get there, but the Pointe-aux-Trembles ones was pretty far away. You had to take a bus, and you went through a lot of green space to get there at the time, and it took a long time. I was tired. They had a little rest. What I would do, I didn't know much about not being employed, having been a schoolgirl and then going to university. So I would, a particular day would be Saturday. I would start off by going out for brunch, and I had decided to go out where I wanted to, or where I found a reasonable and nice brunch. So I might end up going to Westmount, to a little restaurant, breakfast place called Encore une Fois, which I think was open at 10 o'clock, which had these amazing pancakes with clingstone peaches, really nice ones, and frozen blueberries. So I would have that often. They had these wonderful vegetarian salads, which they didn't have them before that, made with goat cheese. This was very unusual, and things like nuts and dates. So I would eat my breakfast there, and then I would, after the breakfast, or the brunch, actually it was breakfast and lunch, I would look at the paper, which at the time they had a paper called Voir and Mirror, which were free art papers, which would tell you about what was going around the town, and they were distributed free. I would pick them up. You could get them at corner stores, grocery stores a lot, or even at the Maison de Culture the week before, and I would look and see what was available that was free, and a large amount of them were the children's theater. And whereas most people, a lot of people in the neighborhood that they were in, they would get their tickets, their laissez-passer before, I didn't, because the distances were quite far, I would prefer to go down and wait in line and to see if there was any room available if people didn't show up. And I don't think I was not refused once. I waited around with people. Often they were mostly, like I said, mostly children's theater, because it was at 1 o'clock. And I went in, and there I sat and listened to my play. And that was then I would return home. So I would go like from one end of the city to the other end of the city for that. It was a big day. I thought what the idea was, I thought I would go, because I was not working, which was scandalous. I thought I didn't pursue my passion of art by attending live performance, being under the impression at the time that live performance is more important than excuse me, things you watch on television. Not that I had a television, and if I would arrive early, there were a couple of things I would do. If it was open, I would either watch a film on one of these little machines they had for you. This is book 4. We'll be going through book 4, book 5, and books. That was book. Uh-oh, did I already go through book 4? I guess so. That was book 5, and here comes book 6. There, I get lost in my talk. I would either go to the coffee table books and look at these beautiful picture book selection that they had, or I would go to the listening machine, the video where you could listen to videos. You could borrow and listen to videos and tapes of things from the National Film Board. Actually had that. This was before the National Film Board actually opened up a very accessible branch of themselves. They moved to Saint Denis Street, which was right near the central Berry-UQAM Metro. So you can get there easily, because they had been for a very long time somewhere on, I think, the Metropolitan Highway, somewhere that was very hard to get to if you didn't have a car. So they had a very central location, and you could actually you could go there to listen to films. There was also something else around that time on Roy Street in the, what is it, Plateau Montreal, I think, where they had the Cinematheque. And the Cinematheque was there. You could very easily listen to tapes, and if you were able or willing to tackle a Super 8 machine, you could get film tapes. I'm talking, you could listen, the music tapes were easily be workable, but if you could handle, you know, the old Super 8 projectors with the rolls of films, you could watch films. And that, if I didn't have the Maison de Culture, I don't know, before the Maison de Culture came around, they had the Cinematheque. As I recall, when the Cinémathèque Québécois opened up, the National Film Board was there, they had actually something called a Robothèque. And that's, wow. Maybe I can't really call it. The one on Roy Street was the Robothèque. I can't recall the name, but they actually, when the Cinémathèque Québécois opened up on Saint Denis Street, the one on Roy Street, which was not as centrally located or not as bad as the one on the highway, closed down and moved over there. And the Cinémathèque Québécois had a lot of soirees. One of the things that was very nice, they took out the old silent movies and they had a live pianist playing music for them. So they would have the old movie cleaned up, or if it was in good condition, they would take it out. And you could listen to that, all for a very small price. There was a lot more money at a certain point, a lot of money on these Maison de Culture, but there must have been a lot of problems about people not understanding, because they were going from very different cultural communities. So that must have been a problem. And at a certain point, after many years of the Maison de Culture functioning, it closed up, most of them. And although the buildings are still there, they don't have as much of an active theater and cultural life as they did. So this is a box, I'll call it box 21.2119. That is January 9th, 21 is when I put it in, and it's book 9, portfolio 4 to 6. This is KV Fabian speaking to you from the Rose Studio, my living working studio. I hope you have a most excellent day, and I'll speak to you soon again. If you have any comments or interesting observations about what you do with your collection or your art, please write it down. Send me a note at www.facebook.com/The Art Fabian Company. That's www.facebook.com/The Art Fabian Company. Or maybe write me something at Instagram.com at KV Fabian. Instagram.com at KV Fabian. Speak to you soon. Have a great day.